Do I press next? Will it?
Yeah. Give it a second.
Oh, okay.
Just watch your step with this.
Got it. Yeah.
Careful when you cross over.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Do that.
Thank you. All right. I'll go in there. All right. Aloha, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for sticking around for us. My name is Cherryle Hugh, and this is Roderick Tabalba. We are from the University of Hawaii at Manoa, both graduate students, and we are here today to present to you Democratizing Scientific Portals Using Sage 3, a project funded by the National Science Foundation. All right, starting us off with Hawaii. As you may know, Hawaii is located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and is quite isolated from the rest of the world. You may know us for our beauty, our natural beauty, but not many people know that we have a very complex and complicated climate. We have continental rain or continental scale rainfall. So you'll see the wettest and the driest areas within our state. One area could receive a lot of rainfall. 1 mile apart, it will be bone dry. We also have extreme weather conditions. We have hurricanes. We also have droughts. That has led to, as you may know, detrimental wildfire. So one example of this extreme weather event is a drought that occurred in 2008 to 2016. As you can see on the right-hand side, that's a map from 2010. I'm going to walk over here a little. So you can see the whole state is under a drought at this point in time. And you can see on the Big Island or Hawaii Island, where our volcanoes are right now, you'll see exceptional drought occurring here. And so that's the highest category drought. But on the eastern end of that same island, you'll see abnormally dry or the lower drought category. So again, within an island, we have huge gradients. And many sectors are affected by this in Hawaii, one being the ranching industry. So in this drought event alone, we had over $40 million and over 20,000 cattle lost. And that's mainly due to lack of irrigation systems in Hawaii, lack of snowmelt, obviously, and the lack of climate data. We did not have much real-time and complex climate that can capture our islands properly. So if you look at that bottom right graph there, it's very pixelated. It's not very useful to us, unfortunately. It does not capture that 1 mile difference that we often see. However, now with the Hawaii Mesonet and the Hawaii Climate Data Portal, we are able to make massive differences with the data we have with complex data. So we have, our Hawaii Mesonet has installed over 100 stations across the state, and that is able to produce maps that is in high resolution, like what you see here. So these weather stations, they are taking data every 15 minutes. They're taking solar radiation, soil moisture, precipitation, temperature, and so much more. And now ranchers are able to use this data to monitor their property, better prepare themselves for oncoming droughts. Hawaii is actually going through a serious drought right now. So now they have this data to properly monitor and prepare for an oncoming drought. But we have 100 weather stations, 15 minutes of data. How are they going to access this data properly? How are they going to be confident in what they're seeing? And not just ranchers, obviously. Conservationists, anyone that is in the natural resources fields, anyone in Hawaii that is interested in climate, how are we going to have them confidently be able to access this real-time data? And that's where our tool comes in.
Yeah, so as Cherryle mentioned, that's where our visualization tool comes in, where we allow users in Hawaii, ranchers and farmers, create their own visualizations without using any code. So our tool is integrated in a platform called Sage 3, which is a NSF-funded project used for managing large tile display walls, as you can see here. But in the third iteration of Sage, people can also share content on their computer laptops. So as you can imagine, maybe a user can create their own dashboards of visualizations, and they can send that dashboard to that farmer or that rancher where they can use it also. So on your right here are just a few examples of visualizations that you can create using our tool. As you can see here, these charts. And with the capabilities of Sage, you can also enrich those dashboards that you've created by adding images to give your data more context. You can also add web views, web portals to visualizations to other web portals. Right? You can also add PDFs. So in this next portion, I'm going to go through a live demo of how our visualization tool works. Is this switched? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Can we switch it? Okay. Give us 1 second. Oh, okay. Okay, that looks good. So what a user would start out with is this blank canvas, this board, right? And what the user can do to access their tool, they would head to the top left, click on the Applications button, and they'll click on the Hawaii Mesonet. And this will initially open up a map where a few bubbles are shown. So these bubbles are representing the stations that are pre-selected. And if we look at the top here, it says air temperature. So these blue dots are showing the current air temperature at these stations. So what a user can do also is head to the app toolbar, select on the Select Stations button, and these are showing just a subset of the stations that are available in Hawaii. There's more stations in the Hawaii Climate Data Portal, but this is, we still need to update it. But the red ones are the ones that are selected. So if a user would want to select, see visualizations of that on the Big Island, select those there, and we go back to the map, that blue dot is shown. That's showing the current air temperature. So what the user can also do is, if they want to see historical data of the air temperature on the Big Island at this location, is they can use the duplicate feature, select on the line chart. We'll zoom out here. So this is showing the air temperature for the prior 24 hours at this station. And we can also duplicate this chart again. And then let me see here. And if we want to see the same visualization but for the prior week, we can head down to the drop down and select 1 week. Okay. And other visualizations we support is, I'll just show another one, the current value with some statistics. So this is showing the current air temperature with some statistics showing the all-time low, the average, and the high in the past 24 hours in the top chart. And the bottom chart is showing the week. And if I can do this, duplicate all these charts. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just organize these better. Put these charts here. And if I wanted to see these same charts, but for a different variable, I would use the drop-down. And these are all the different variables that this station is collecting. So it's collecting things like solar radiation, soil moisture, net radiation. So I'm just going to select soil moisture for now. All right. And last but not least, since this is using Sage 3, you can also open up a web view and head to other web portals such as windy.com. And then zoom into, where's Hawaii? Right there. So within a matter of 3 to 4 minutes, this is maybe a starting point for a dashboard that a rancher might use. Okay. Okay. Can we head back to the presentation? So at some point, a user will get to this endpoint where they'll have this dashboard that's persistent that they can always come back to. Maybe they can share it with all their other farmers who is interested in this area. They can manage they can see the air temperature for the prior week, for the prior month, and if there's any dramatic changes in the climate, then they can better prepare their crops or their cattle to, as Cherryle mentioned in the beginning of the slides, of that drought, right? Wait. Next. Okay, and thank you all for listening to our talk. I'd also like to thank the National Science Foundation for funding this project. None of this would have been possible without your funding, and also NASA and AGU for giving us this opportunity to share our visualization tool. Oh, also, if you guys want a more intense demo, you can come to booth 237. You can see that's where we're going to be demoing this tool also. Yeah, thank you.